Genesis 1:30. Ulechol chayat haaretz, ulechol of hashemayim, ulechol romes al haaretz, asher bo nefesh chaya, et kol yerek esev leochla vayhi kain. Translation, and to every living creature of the earth, and to every flyer of the heavens, and to every creeper upon the earth, which in it is the nefesh chaya, which we'll come back to, indefinite direct object marker here, every green herb for food, and it was so. Now, verse 30 is a continuation of Genesis 1:29, and the verb of Genesis 1:29 that is used of Elohim is going to continue here. It's from the verb natan. It's conjugated as a perfect or katal, first person, first common singular. And so God is saying, I have given, and he explains for humanity, the male and the female, here's what I have given you all for food, the herb that's bearing seed, the fruit tree that's bearing seed, and now he's saying to these different groups, this is what he's given for these different groups. And notice the universal language, lechol, 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 the living creatures of the earth, the flying thing of the heavens, the creeping thing upon the earth. And it's further qualified by asher bo nefesh chaya. Now, nefesh is sometimes translated as soul. Some might understand it in certain contexts as person or individual. It may come from a word that has to do with throat, and breath of life is probably a very good way to understand it here, that all of these things, these living creatures of the earth, these flyers of the heavens, these things that creep over the earth, they have breath, they breathe. So they've got the breath of life, and this is what I'm giving them for food, and he tells what that is with the definite direct object marker here pointing us to every green herb. And in the instructions to humanity, you had this language of esiv, but it was also connected with the seeding seed or producing seed. The language of the color here of green was not right there. And some think this refers to these other parts of a plant that when people eat certain things, they don't eat the entire plant. They don't eat the stalk necessarily, or the leaves, or this or that. But the animals that are described here, you know, it's pretty much fair game. They can just get all that. And so this is for them for food. And then Vayehi Kain, and it was so. I was listening to Dr. Bill Barrick's Genesis lectures, which I highly recommend, and he was explaining that this may well have the function of saying, just as it was described, so it happened. So, and that's the way it happened. What's said right here, this is what came to pass. Genesis 1:30 continues the idea from 1:29, and next time we're going to wrap up day 6.